Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering the woke boycotts. Target is getting bomb threats. Now, woke Target's getting bomb threats, but apparently they're from an LGBT activist, or it's a total hoax, but it's not conservatives. It's not people boycotting it who are angry with the store because of their Pride merchandise or any of the LGBT kids clothing that they're selling. It's from people who are angry that Target is responding to customers who are upset over them going woke. Let's get into this first article. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications and give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Coming from Outkick, emails reveal these Target bomb threats came from an LGBTQ activist. A report circulating Friday claimed Target stores in Utah, Ohio, and Pennsylvania received bomb threats due to the company's LGBT merchandise in their stores for Pride Month. Media outlets like USA Today would have you believe the threats were sent by unhinged conservatives who hate gay and transgender people. They cited evil Republicans' anti-trans laws that prevent the genital mutilation of children. And they all assume a mob of angry people in red MAGA hats stormed Target stores with their pitchforks and threatened to plant bombs. But now we're finding out, though, the bomb threats actually came from an LGBT activist. That, or the entire thing, was a complete hoax. And we have a quote making a specific reference to people being angry with Target for backing down on pushing their Pride merchandise in their stores. In the meantime, Target has lost $10 billion in 10 days on the value of their stock. They went from being a $74 billion company to a $64 billion company in 10 days. Is that unusual? Is that bad? Yes, it's unusual. And yes, it's very bad. The stock could go back up. But stocks, when they go down for a reason, need to go up for another reason. Pride Month hasn't even started yet. The boycotts are on. So as we've seen with Bud Light, these can be long-lasting and devastating to these companies. For Target, that's nearly a 14% drop in value, and it's the retailer's lowest stock price in nearly 3 years. It could take years for this company to get its stock price back up, or the stock could just kind of keep going back down and down. Now, on conservatives being accused of violence, the Associated Press claimed without evidence that the Target boycotts became violent, and then they had to go and edit their story. This is coming from Just the News. And when I had seen from Target that supposedly there were violent confrontations over the Target Pride merchandise, immediately I knew it wasn't true. Because if it were true, we would have seen video of it. There were people, there was one guy I can think of in particular. I did see a viral video of him going and knocking down one of their signs that said "Take Pride" and then stomping on the sign one time. If you're destroying a sign or something like that in a store, is it violent? It's inappropriate. It's damaging and vandalizing property. Of course, nobody should be doing that. Conservatives don't normally do things like that. That's inappropriate. But I didn't see violent confrontations in stores. I've heard of some harassment, and what they called harassment was somebody was a transgender person with their other transgender person in the Pride section looking at things in Target, and somebody walked by and said, "Oh, enjoy it while you can," and then walked on further. And then there was an extensive article in some publication about it. I don't know. People make nasty comments to each other all the time. I guess if you don't have something nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. But that's not a violent confrontation. A violent confrontation is making bomb threats. So Target put out a Pride Month display selling work from a Satanist, targeting children and featuring women's bathing suits with a convenient tuckable pouch for one's lady penis. Shockingly, conservatives didn't like it. Shortly after, Target executives held an emergency meeting during which they decided their employees would be safer if they moved this particular merchandise to the back of their stores. They also stopped selling certain items from the Satan-worshipping British artist. Then, news outlets received bomb threats. Emails sent to Cleveland 19 News threatened to bomb Target unless the stores bring back the Pride merchandise. Quote, "Target is full of effing cowards who turned their back on the LGBT community and decided to cater to the homophobic right-wing redneck bigots." It then lists the addresses of 5 local stores. Quote, "We will continue to bomb your Targets until you stop cowering and bring back your LGBT merchandise. We will not be erased. We will not go quietly." All of these stores, plus some in Utah, were evacuated. But police do not believe there's an actual threat. Now, Target stores are suddenly concerned about the safety of their employees. Of course, Target's hourly workers are not the enemy. Outkick, and of course me as well, we do not condone vandalism in stores or harassing of people who are just trying to pay their bills or harassing of customers. You don't need to talk to customers if they're in the LGBT section. Let them have a great time. Just go the other way. It's all live and let live. Stay away from our kids. That would be a good t-shirt. Live and let live, stay away from our kids. We do not condone vandalism in stores or harassing of people who are just trying to pay their bills. But you know who does not condone these things? Everyone on the left. Mainstream media said Target had to pull some of its Pride merchandise because of domestic terrorists. But what about the actual domestic terrorists? Will they speak out against them? This is an example of what happened when Black Lives Matter or people supporting the movement rioted inside of a Target store. Conservatives don't do things like this. Nothing like this. So you would think, well, what were the comments about protecting employees and protecting investors and protecting the merchandise? And also, people rely on these stores to go and shop locally. Sometimes they have grocery sections that people are shopping in. It's supposed to be a resource for the whole community. What about the Black Lives Matter rioters who burned down cities and looted stores? This is also from Twitter. In 2023, conservatives are teaching Target a lesson by harnessing the power of capitalism by not supporting Target and not shopping in Target. In 2020, leftists try to teach Target a lesson with violent looting and vandalism. You can't go in and out of stores like this. There's no excuse for that. Oh, there's a big rainbow. You can't do this. It doesn't matter what your cause is. You can't go and rip things off in a store, rip up a store, and say, hey, don't blame me. I did it for a good reason. Let's run in there and steal free things. You can't do stuff like that. What about the rampant shoplifting in blue cities that's forcing major retail chains to shut their doors? A tweet from Forbes. Target will temporarily close 175 of its locations across the United States after a video of its Minneapolis store getting looted went viral amid the fifth night of chaotic protest sparked by the death of George Floyd. Of course, instead of condemning the behavior of the Black Lives Matter rioters, Target delicately announced it would focus on helping the community heal. Quote, "We are heartbroken about the death of George Floyd and the pain it is causing our community," Target said in a statement at the time. So I'm sorry, liberal media, but if you want someone to threaten retail stores with violence, you're looking in the wrong place. Conservatives prefer to fight with their wallets. Conservatives are doing it to Bud Light. Conservatives are certainly doing it to Target now too. $10 billion gone in 10 days is historic. Bud Light is truly historic. We're going to see where this Target thing winds up. I didn't even realize that this Target thing was going to be this severe, but it really is. It's making a big difference. A 19 News out of Ohio contacted the LGBT Community Center of Greater Cleveland for a comment on these activist bomb threats from LGBT people. Here's their response. The LGBT Community Center of Greater Cleveland does not condone violence under any circumstance. The threats made to Target recently are a disheartening development, especially when our community is preparing to come together to celebrate our pride. We are in alignment with the position Human Rights Campaign has recently taken, calling on Target to stand firm in the face of anti-LGBT sentiment and rhetoric. So that's the story. Bomb threats to Target. Thankfully, no bombs actually there. It may have even been a hoax, but the emails they received announcing the bomb threats had to do with complaints about Target responding to customers saying they were not comfortable with kids' LGBT merchandise, the tuck-friendly bathing suits. They didn't want any of that in the stores, but the bomb threats were not from conservatives. The bomb threats were from an LGBT activist or LGBT activists, or it was a total hoax. But the sense from the email was they were upset that Target was responding to customers and was removing LGBT merchandise for kids, as well as LGBT tuck-friendly bathing suits, and moving this stuff to the back of the store, and also removing products from the Satanist designer featured in their stores. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Are you surprised to hear that Target was getting any bomb threats? Had you heard of this before? If you're Target, are you thinking right now, why are we even doing this? Why do we need bomb threats? Maybe we need to take it a little bit easier on pushing the agenda. Sure, the agenda is important to certain people, but they're not going to sell enough merchandise to make up for all of this trouble. Don't you think these companies need to get back to just focusing on servicing their actual customers and not making all of this social commentary in their merchandise? Obviously, it didn't work for Bud Light. They need to apologize to their actual customers. And if they want to apologize to other LGBT communities, they can apologize to them too. They should apologize to everybody. Stop messing around in the stores and just serve the customers. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I always love to see your ideas. I really appreciate your comments. Please also be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.